The NFL season opener did not disappoint. What a game that was. The Lions beat the Chiefs 21 to 20. And listen, nothing but praise and respect to what the Lions did. They won a hard fought game. I mean, it was a grinded out game. I thought it was going to be a shootout. I was getting Chiefs versus Rams 2018 flashbacks. This was not that type of game. Aiden Hutchinson dominated, career high 6 pressures, had 3 quarterback hits. Nobody could block him. Aiden Hutchinson, at first glance in the first quarter, I didn't think he was doing too much. And then every single snap after that, every single drop back, he was getting pressure on Mahomes. Mahomes is the best quarterback at evading sacks and pressures, which is why no sacks for Aiden Hutchinson on the night. But he dominated the trenches, in my opinion. He had that type of game. Jawan Taylor, even with being 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, could not block him. Aiden Hutchinson's get off was that fast, and I'm really intrigued about him. And how about these Lions rookies? Jahmyr Gibbs, speed, acceleration, contact balance. He had 7 carries for 42 yards. Sam Laporta, 5 receptions for 39 yards. Jack Campbell had some nice plays. Brian Branch had that interception touchdown. These young players showed out. The rookies, Aiden Hutchinson, James Houston, had a couple really, really nice plays. The way the Lions won this game is a testament to what they were last season. They're a second half team. Last year, they started out 1-6. They finished the season off 8-2. Down 14-7 at halftime. They found a way to win. Jared Goff made some tremendous throws on third down. One of my biggest criticisms of Jared Goff is that play action, throwing to the middle, he's a top 10 quarterback. But when he's dropping back and he has to make big boy throws, he struggles. Ben Johnson said that was a big area of improvement for him this past offseason, and that showed. That showed big time. Amon-Ra, tremendous game. Josh Reynolds, 80 yards. They finally leaned into the running game later on. Montgomery had that touchdown, and it just felt like the Chiefs' defense was tired. I tip my hat off to the Lions because even without Kelsey, even without Jones, I had the Chiefs winning this game. And the Lions came out on top, 21-20. On to the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is not to take anything away from what the Lions did. They're 1-0. They're starting off their season in tremendous fashion, winning one at Arrowhead. But the Chiefs have a problem. Yes, they do. Last season, when the Rams lost in week 1 to the Bills in embarrassing fashion, I said the Rams have a problem. I don't think the Rams are going to be very good. Now, the Chiefs aren't the Rams because the Chiefs got Andy Reid, got Patrick Mahomes. Now, I thought the defense without Chris Jones was going to be the Achilles heel in this game. I thought the offense would still move the ball throughout the entire game, even without Kelsey. But the defense played solid. I thought the defense was really good tonight. On the ground, stopping the run. The Lions averaged 3.5 yards per carry on 34 attempts. The Chiefs' defense did their job. The Lions had 11 offensive drives on the game. The Chiefs forced a punt, turnover on downs, or had a turnover on 8 of those offensive drives. The other 4 was the Amon-Ra touchdown drive, in which the Chiefs' defense was about to get a 3-and-out, but then the Lions go for a fake punt and convert it. That could have been a moment where the Chiefs' defense got the offense off the field early. And then the other ones were the Montgomery touchdown in the fourth quarter, and then the very last drive in the game when the Lions ran out the clock. The Lions were the 5th best scoring offense in the league last year. They scored 14 offensive points on the Chiefs' defense. The Chiefs' defense was not the problem. Their defensive line held up. The linebackers, Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, played tremendous games. You had some lapses in coverage here and there with McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed and Joshua Williams. But for the most part, the corners played solid too. The entire offseason, we were debating about Which Chiefs wide receiver, young wide receiver, is going to break out, is going to take that leap? Sky Moore, 0 receptions, 0 yards on the game. Kadarius Toney, he had 1 catch for 1 yard and had the drop that led to the Patrick Mahomes interception to Brian Branch, in which he took back for a defensive touchdown. And that right there, you can say, was the difference in the game. Justin Ross, 1 catch for 6 yards. Rashee Rice was the most impressive Chiefs wide receiver, young wide receiver, and he had 3 receptions for 29 yards and a touchdown. No Chiefs wide receiver or tight end had more than 3 receptions. You want to know who led the team in receptions? Isaiah Pacheco with 4 on the night. Nobody could get consistently open. Justin Watson made some nice plays. MVS made a nice play. But for the most part, these receivers were the biggest liability in the game, could not create any separation. And when Mahomes threw nice passes, they would drop it. We know when Travis Kelce is on the field, there are no question marks about this offense. They proved it last year. But Travis Kelce has a bone bruise. Travis Kelce is 33 years old. Travis Kelce turns 34 on October 5th. The Chiefs cannot move forward throughout this season with the tough schedule they have with this receiving room. They have to find answers. Is that Travis Kelce coming back early, risking injury further into the season? Is that holding out? I'm not sure. And then I'm looking at the Chiefs' biggest offseason acquisition, Jawan Taylor. Jawan Taylor was the biggest liability on that offensive line. Yes, he's going up against Aiden Hutchinson, but they paid him $20 million a year. Jawan Taylor has to be better than that. Jawan Taylor was lining up 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage and couldn't contain Aiden Hutchinson for more than a couple dropbacks in the entire game. Patrick Mahomes in the first half, 12 for 17, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. In the second half, 79 yards, 1 interception, which wasn't his fault, 9 for 22, and most of those incompletions were drops or throwaways. Now, the Chiefs have an issue. They have a wide receiver issue. The issue that we all thought was going to happen last year when Tyreek Hill left this offense, I actually think is about to happen this season. That's what I think. And if they don't figure this out sooner rather than later, I think the Chiefs can have a very slow start to the season. And with their tough schedule, who knows what's going to happen. But the way these receivers played tonight, I'm disappointed in Sky Moore. I'm disappointed in Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney doesn't even deserve to start another game for Kansas City. It was that bad. But listen, all praise to the Lions for how they came out and how they won this game, because they deserve to win this game. 14 offensive points. If I'm a Lions fan, I feel ecstatic from that. If the Lions are scoring 14 offensive points and their defense are winning games, that's a huge juxtapose to what was their team, their identity last season. The Lions start 1-0. I still have reservations about the Lions, just because was their secondary tested in this game? Was Cameron Sutton tested? Their big acquisition at corner. Once Justin Watson deep pass, and then he got called for a defensive pass interference. The Lions defense still, I thought, weren't that great, but ultimately this is a win against the Chiefs on the road. And I think as long as their offense is going to be good, which I projected to be moving forward, Jared Goff played a tremendous game. Jahmyr Gibbs, if they give him more carries and touches, I think the rushing offense will be more efficient. Then there shouldn't be any worry at all. But this is a major problem for the Chiefs going forward. And I'm reading what you guys are saying in the comments right now, because yes, I am live right now. I want to see what you guys are saying in the comments. Drop down what you guys thought about this game in the comment section down below. Tony giving me Stevie Johnson vibes. Lions might get to the playoffs this year. I don't think that's horrible to say. The Lions, when you look at the division, they're the only team that doesn't have the most question marks. The Vikings question mark is the defense. The Packers question mark is health and their quarterback. Christian Watson did not practice this week. Romeo Dobbs practiced, but he's dealing with a hamstring injury. We're not sure if that's going to linger on. Jordan Love still hasn't shown anything, although I think he will be good. And the Bears, the defense is going to stink. The offense likely breaks out, but the Lions are the most complete team in the NFC North, and they have the least amount of question marks about them. Chiefs did make bad decisions on 3rd and 1, and I think you're absolutely right. Calling sweeps for Kadarius Toney, and then the second time, I believe it was Rashee Rice, if I'm not mistaken. I felt like the play call in for the Chiefs down the stretch was iffy. I would have liked it to be in the hands of Mahomes as the game was ending. I mean, he is the best quarterback in the world, so why take it out of his hands? I thought that was a big time mistake. I'm high on Jordan Love because I thought in the limited snaps that he has played so far in the regular season, in the preseason, he's looked solid. I think he's going to be a solid game manager in his first year starting. He has shown some good accuracy, good between the short and intermediate area, and pocket presence. I don't think he runs or forces his way into pressure, and that's a big sign for a good quarterback. Jawan Taylor, it's funny how throughout the entire game, people were complaining about the false starts lining behind the center, like almost 2 yards. And the referees did not call it the entire game. The last Chiefs offensive possession, when it's 4th and 20 or 3rd and 20, I think it is, they call the false start and it moves them back 5 yards. Sam Laporta played well tonight. Sam Laporta played well. He was a reception machine. And I think in that offense, in Ben Johnson's offense, coming off that play action, targeting the middle of the field, Laporta is going to have a lot of opportunities for yak and to get a lot of receptions. Outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, there isn't another pass catcher on Detroit that from a game-to-game basis is going to be consistent. And that can be Laporta. He can take on that role. I didn't talk about the Chiefs going for it on 4th and 25. Mahomes made a pretty solid throw to Sky Moore. It really irks me that Sky Moore, his biggest play of the game, which was like a 20-yard completion, it got called back because of the Jawan Taylor holding. Lions do need to feed Jahmyr Gibbs. He was special. Williams. He can be the spark in this offense 100%. He can be that spark. So, guys, that's going to do it for me. The Joel Moran Show is going to be live Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. Today's Thursday, season opener, my lucky day. I love reacting like this right after the games happen. But this is my instant reaction to the game, to the Lions and Chiefs. Lions beating the Chiefs 21-20. Outstanding game for the Lions. Nothing but praise from them. I think moving forward, this is a great sign and the type of statement win that they needed and the confidence booster that they needed from here on out. For the Chiefs, I think wide receiver is a major issue going forward. It's not even the defense. Even without Chris Jones, the defense looked pretty solid. It's the receiving core. And Travis Kelce, with him aging, with his injury, the Chiefs need to find some ways to make moves. But that's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.